Welcome to where everybody has gone before. Today we're looking at Star Trek, Find Your Own Way, Book 15, Voyage to Adventure. You're an ensign on the Starfleet assigned to Enterprise with Captain Kirk and Spock. You'll explore amazing worlds, and you might rescue an alien race from deadly disease, or battle with the Klingon spy, or travel to another universe. Make the right choice and you could be a hero and save the Enterprise. Be careful, or you, Captain Kirk, or Spock could be all in terrible danger. Of course, if you don't like the way the story is going, you can always go back and start a new adventure. This is essentially kind of a knockoff of the Choose Your Own Adventures, but this one is licensed by Star Trek. This is from the original series. As an ensign, you have three choices of where you can start. Once you board the Starship Enterprise, you can either become a science officer, go to engineering, or go to the bridge. I've done three scenarios. I want to read the book through once for each scenario, like you would be as a kid. Most of the modern booktubers, when they do these kind of books, they go through everything, which is fine, but I wanted to go through it like you would if you were a kid. I don't think you would have gone through it everything. I think you'd have gone through it maybe once, come back later, maybe you'd gone through it again. Unless you were just buying it from the library. So here's what happened to me on my adventures. Alright, first thing I did when I went first, I decided I was going to go down, be a science officer. So I went with Mr. Spock. He was dealing with his time crystal. He told me to stand back. The choice is where you could either interact with him or you stand back and follow orders. Being a senior officer, I stood back. He vanished. Then you had the lever. You either go forward or go back. I decided I would go ahead and push the lever forward. That stopped, but that it moved me to the same time where he was and gave me a knife. Then a bunch of people came forward and said they wanted me to help escort the prisoner, which was Spock. Now I could either fight them or go with them. I decided I was going to go with them. They assigned me to go stay with Spock and guard him, and I found out that I was in the mirror Earth, where everyone was evil. And then with Spock, I had to... There were two tasks. I either had to send the radio message, or I had to go set the transporter so we could get back to our dimension. I decided to go to the transporter. Well, when I got there, I found mirror duplicates, apparently two of my classmates who were also on the ship. I could either fight them. Of course, they had phasers. All I had was a knife. I could either fight them, hoping they were bad shots, or I could use my brains and outwit them. I outwitted them, got them to leave, and reprogram system. Spock got there, we teleported out, and got home safely. First scenario, good. Second scenario, I went to engineering. Lieutenant Gorgon gave me a broom, so of course, like any good ensign, I did what I was told. I swept up, saw something shiny slithering across the floor. It turned out to be a robot mouse, so I followed it. And I caught the mouse in my space-age vacuum. I went to go report it to a superior officer. Scotty was busy, so I immediately went to go show it to Gorgon, who was my immediate superior. Turns out he was a Klingon spy. He was going to signal the Klingons to attack. Well, I ended up fighting him. Well, I ended up actually distracting him so he could tell me what was going on. Then I ended up fighting him, and so I ended up stopping his plan by destroying his radio, but he ended up killing me. So yeah, I died in that scenario. Then was the bridge crew. Okay. After work with Uhura, I had two choices. I could either listen to things with headphones, or I could translate the already recorded tapes. I decided to translate the recorded tapes, and it turned out that was a message that the Klingons had found, because of course they did. They found a mine full of delirium crystals, and it was in, of all things, Federation territories, that they had to keep quiet. So I was told to go to battle stations. I could either fly the ship or weapons. I chose weapons. I'm no pilot. Then when we got there, I had to get their attention. I could either fire photon torpedoes or phasers. I chose photon torpedoes. Then when the Klingons started to attack, I could decide what to attack with again. I decided to attack again with photon torpedoes. I disabled the ship and win the day. So those are my 3 scenarios. I died in one and won the other 2. Overall, a good book. I give it a 5 out of 5. Maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe I'll do a read through and we'll choose some different paths. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And if you can find it for a good price, I highly recommend checking out Which Way? Star Trek Voyage to Adventure by Michael J. Doge. It's a quick read, but it's still a fun book, even if you're an adult. Alright, until next time, this has been Where Everyone Has Gone Before, and this has been a Booktube review, and I hope you enjoyed my quick review of this book. Till next time, keep your nose on the ground, or your nose in a book, and your feet on the ground, and we'll see you next time. Comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon if you're new, and we'll see you later. Later days.